Okay, welcome to our session, I believe, 30 of the Hyperborea campaign here. A year has passed, roughly a year, since the last adventure. There was some loss, some gain. But it is now the year 581, which is the ninth year of the cycle. This is the 10th month, and it's also the 10th day. About half that time was spent in Cromarium training, learning, partying, whatever you guys may have been doing. I guess you can tell me. In the last 6 months or so, you've been traveling. There was a rumor which sent you to Zingaris Islands to recover what is essentially a treasure map, leading you to the Lemurian remnant, basically on the other side of the world. So we do have, I guess, one new character, and we have many coming back. So if let's go down. You guys can go quick intro to your character, maybe what you've been up to leading to this point, and then we'll talk a little bit about how you kind of got to where you're at as far as the cruise and the new land that you're in and so on. Because this part of Hyperborea is very uncharted, we'll say. The Lemurians sometimes come to Cromarium in particular to trade, but the remnant itself is pretty secluded, and to many practically a completely different world. So I will start with Nikki. You can tell us about your character, Panesta, and what she's been up to.
Panesta, she's a bard, and when we last left her, she was eating a lot of mayonnaise, but that was a year ago, of course. So she'll never forget that night, though. Not at all. But she has been learning many new songs and studying with different bards, and she has learned another new spell as she is now level 6. So she has been studying and communing with the Black Gulf for the past year to learn things. And that is what she's been up to until the rumor leading us to the Lemurian remnant.
Excellent. Let's see. Tony, go ahead, tell us about your character, what they've been up to.
Brighild the Imposing, after losing her friend Altan, she went through some moments of solace where she stayed by herself some, and then one day she come to Lackland and she started working out with Lackland and lifting weights and toning up her physique and her strength with Lackland. Her village childhood friend has joined them, and she started letting her hair go back to the natural blonde and growing out again as she's returned back to her blonde hair, and is prepared her body physically for what transpires next. And she still paints her face every once in a while with these paintings, and if someone asks her about them, she just says, "It's something I must do. It's something I must do." And Brighild the Imposing, the warlock, is ready for this new venture and hoping that Lackland and Sorcha and Panesta, that they all survive this one again. And she's a little curious about the new person that's joined them also. That's Brighild the Imposing.
Excellent. Mike, tell us about your character, the barbarian there.
Lackland has taken a lot of his money and he's bought livestock with it because he wants to make sure that his mother and sister and younger brother are taken care of. So he picked up a couple of trained mammoths and a couple of other beasts and have brought them back to the village and spent some time with there. Then trained with Brighild for a while until he couldn't stand pigtails anymore. And then said, "Let's get out of this place." I've heard something from Pinesta, and he will make sure that he leaves with her, and this is where it's brought them out to the far reaches of the world.
Excellent. Crystal, what's Sorcha been up to?
Sorka
Sorka.
has been spending the last year spending all of her money pretty much on on studies of nature and spending time with the druids, doing as much good as she can. She has learned some new spells herself that she hopes are going to come in handy for the group. Part of her wanted to be able to stay and learn, commune with nature more, but as she's running low on funds, she decides to take Pinesta up on her offer and travel with the group to Lemuria, which she's excited about because not many druids have been able to visit this place. She hopes that that maybe learning things, learning of different plants and animals of this area might one day allow her to get a seat on the Druid Council with her advanced knowledge that she will have.
Excellent. Gotta have goals. And finally, a few months ago, a new adventure, I guess before you set out, joined the group. Just to give you guys a little bit more muscle. Yang, tell us about your character and how you came to be part of this group.
So Balki is a Viking warrior. He's been making a living by adventuring around the realm. At times he works as a mercenary. At other times he's a reclaimer, but he never stays in one place for too long. You see Balki wearing light studded armor, and he wears a bear's head cowl that also doubles as his helmet. You see him carrying a wooden circular shield on his back. He's heavily armed with a long sword, like 3 hand axes hanging from his girdle, a couple of daggers, and a bandolier holstering these things. He seems pretty jovial. He's got golden locks that are barely visible underneath a cowl. And he seems very relaxed, and his eyes are somewhat unfocused, and he seems quite gentle and easygoing, as if nothing would bother him much. You really can't imagine this guy ever getting angry for any reason. So he looks at you guys and say, "Hey guys, it's a good day to be out and about."
Excellent. So yeah, it's probably you might all be feeling that way because you've spent the better part of the last 2 months traveling in a relatively cramped Amazonian trade ship. As I said, not many people go to and from the Lemurian remnants. It's very, very dangerous. Being very close to the edge of the world, many a ship has tried to make it there and has fallen into the Black Gulf at the end of the world. But the Amazonians know that they can get jade and silk. It's said that in Lemuria, silk is as common as the most raw fabrics that you would find anywhere else in Hyperborea. The pearls are supposedly worn by even the poor. The riches of Lemuria are legendary, though few have actually made it there. But because it's such a long journey, the Amazonians they want to fill their ships with as much trade goods as possible, and of course, you all take up space. So the very little bit of space you were given to be on the ship was probably pretty cramped, especially for those of you that typically enjoy being out in the wilds and having space around you. So as you kind of approach the islands of the remnant, after several days of massive storms and being kind of lashed to the deck so you don't blow off, eventually you break through into an area that's, based on everything you've heard, it's larger than you would have imagined. The area you break into, and you do notice that you're passing by these large kind of statues that are pillars with statues on top that are raised into the sea. And as soon as you pass through these, the weather calms, and you see that you're soaking wet from the rain, but soon also soaking wet from just the beads of sweat pouring off you. As it's probably warmer here than you have ever experienced in your entire lives. It's 100 degrees, which, being that the average temperature in mainland Hyperborea is somewhere in the 60s, it's hot. It's very hot. You can see there's the remnant is not just one single island. Clearly, it's a small cluster of them. I will give you a little box text because I like my box text, and we'll get you onto the mainland. Let's see. Okay, so a couple of months ago, you left Port Sangeris. This is where you picked up the map that I will share with you eventually. It was apparently taken from an Ixian sorcerer, necromancer, clearly, as most Ixian sorcerers are. Although we don't want to judge the Ixians. It's an incomplete map, but it seems to show a place called the Island of the Serpent. And there rests a fabulous treasure called the Feathered Crown of Nanasa. Apparently this is a artifact of the gods that can grant life and death. It's quite valuable for those of you that are in it for the money, and it's quite a historical item for those that are in it for those kind of things. And also a religious item. You have the map, which I will share with you again, and you have been traveling now again on this Amazonian ship. Basically, with this, you don't really know. The Amazonians don't know of a island of the serpent, but they of course know where Lemuria is, and they took your money and have brought you across. As you pull into the port city, which is called Hamanket, which is I'll put it in here so you guys can know how to spell it. If I can type, I'll do that anyways. You see that this is quite an old city. It's clearly bustling, and you can tell right from the beginning that while there are ports here and there's trade going on, that's not the major business here. Pretty much everywhere you can look as the coastline kind of comes up and rises, you can see that temple upon temple, every religion you could think of, and some that you've never heard of probably. You see all these shrines with various priests, and you can smell the incense in the air and hear chanting. And the Amazonian ship captain will tell you that this is the center of religious activity of the islands. And where there is religion, there is pilgrimage. Where there is pilgrimage, there are travelers. And where there are travelers, there is trade. So he kind of let you off the boat to your own doings. And you're on the dock in a strange city. A very, very hot city. You notice the people here are different. I mean, you may have seen or heard about Lemurians in the past. They tend to be a little bit on the more petite size. Even the tallest men are barely over 5 foot tall. They're dark haired, kind of tan skinned, and from what you've heard, very secretive. Although everybody here seems to be very inviting, and you see barely anybody that's wearing any kind of a weapon beyond like a simple dagger. And you see lots of bright colors and probably to catch your adventurer's eye, you do see that most people here are dressed in silks. So, what are you guys doing there out on the dock?
Um, Sorka will step out and go, "Oh, wow, look at this place. I I never imagined anything quite like this." And she's gonna quickly like head over to like kind of like the edge of the like dock, and she's gonna like look down into the water and see like how clear it is, if she can see any like animal life or anything in these waters.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the waters here are quite deep and quite clear. You realize, of course, you're on an island, right? By the way, this is the map that I moved you guys to. That's the treasure map you have. That's not where you are currently. Actually, I should move you to. Let me move you to the remnant map. I'm just sectioning off where you are, so because you don't really know much about the land. You're there in Jamaket. Jamaket, I should say. And you can see that there are, in fact, many of there's like savanna, so grasslands and stuff to will be the north. That's kind of where you are now. You can see jungle essentially to the south. Of course, you see many islands. The waters here are, if you could think of this almost like it's probably, I mean, not that your character would know this, but just as a person, you probably understand this. It's like a volcanic island, so it dropped off quickly. So it's not like when you walk into like the Atlantic Ocean here or whatever, where like you slowly get deeper. It's basically you get to the edge of the where the water starts and it just drops. And you can see it's tremendously deep. You can't even see the bottom. And the docks are basically like floating docks. And yeah, there's marine life for sure.
Nice. I take out my journal and like maybe start drawing fish or something.
Okay.
Lachlan's going to make sure that our supplies are getting offloaded, and he'll help offload and get them into a secure area.
When
Okay.
Brickhild sees Lachlan doing that, she snickers under her breath and she walks over to Balky and she goes, "I think we should go and get a cold drink and let him do all the work."
Yeah, tell me about it. It's so hot out here.
Yes. I pay you no mind and continue to work.
Okay.
Wonder what kind of food we'll find for you here, Brighild.
Yes, we've got to see what their delicacies are here for sure.
If it's anything close to what we've been eating for the past few days, I'd bet it's gotta have fish.
Well, as long as it doesn't have mayonnaise.
Yeah, you told me about that. How much mayonnaise did you eat last time?
She kind of looks sick and she says, "I really, really don't want to talk about it. It was a lot."
Well, I don't know about you guys, but this leather armor, it's getting pretty sweaty. I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep on wearing this thing.
No, it's very hot. I agree.
He takes off his bearskin cowl, and he's got like shoulder length hair, and he's pretty pleasant looking.
Nice. Yeah, you guys can start moving towards. I mean, you don't have that many supplies, because obviously you took up enough space just being bodies. So whatever you guys probably on your back by this point, you can start to walk up into the main town proper. As I say, there's basically lots of temples here. You can see there's like a main road, probably double to triple the width of a what you would consider a normal average road, which is kind of strange because the buildings here aren't huge, but the road is very wide. It kind of comes up, and from there you see lots of branches off. And on the main part of the road, you see like a few pretty substantial buildings. They are still made of some kind of wood for the most part, with just like kind of thatched tops, but they're pretty substantial in size. And you can see as you look down the side roads that the shrines and temples become like smaller and smaller as they get off the main drag. But in this main drag with this really wide road, you do see like people with small wooden tables set up, kind of low to the ground tables, and they have various types of food for sale. And you see the what appear to be the religious pilgrims and stuff. Kind of you can see them filing in from various areas and taking food and going in and out of the temples. It's pretty busy here. Oh, I meant to do this, and I guess we'll do it now live. Why not? So they speak a different language here. They speak Lemurian. So we're gonna do a test of intelligence to see how much Lemurian you picked up on your way. So I guess we'll just go down the line. So just a regular test of intelligence. I mean, you'll probably have picked up some no matter how bad you do, but if you do well, then you'll be pretty well communicative. So go ahead, Panesta, and roll a d6 there for your test of intelligence.
Okay. I rolled a 1.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense, I guess, the bard. Yeah, you pretty much got it down, I mean, I would imagine. Unless you're what's your intelligence?
14.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good because you had a 3 and 6 chance. You got a 1, so that's like you're pretty fluent. I mean, they're obviously you're not a local by the look of you and your accent, but you can speak it, well enough. How about Brickhill? Give us a test of intelligence.
Nope, I missed it by 1.
Missed
Not a
about
4.
Okay. Okay, so you can understand a bit, but you're gonna be one of those things where you're not exactly you could probably get the gist of things, but you can't really have like a deep conversation with somebody. Lachlan, give me a test of intelligence.
That's cocked. What does that mean? That's a 3.
3. What's your int?
13.
13. 36. Okay, so you're better than Brighild, but not as good as Finest. So you made it. So you're decently fluent. You wouldn't be able to talk philosophy probably, but you could certainly find your way to the restaurant or the restroom or whatever. Balky, give me a d6 roll test of intelligence.
I got 2, and my
2.
intelligence is 9.
Oh, okay. And you had a 2 and 6. So you much like Lachlan, you're passable. You can get most things done, but maybe some words will slip past you if it's a. Like if you went to the library and started reading an ancient text, it might be hard for you to understand it, but for general conversation, you should be fine.
Nice.
And Sorka, give us a test of intelligence.
I got a 2. My intelligence is 8.
Oh. Did you? No, okay, you also made it. Okay, so you're good, yeah. Again, everybody except for most of you, I guess, I have a pretty well enough to get around, so it's not going to be an issue unless like something complicated happens. You'll be able to understand. Brigild's a little bit less so. So if stuck by yourself and people were talking fast at you, you might have trouble following every word of it, Brigild. And Podesta's pretty much got it down, so you can make a note on your sheet. That you guys can all understand the Lemurian language on some level, as described. So you hear people talking and stuff, and you can the vendors are offering up their foods. What you do see, most of the food in the street that you see is some kind of combination of rice, kind of rice rolled up with fish. There's also some what appear to be some kind of reptiles, like lizard type, on cooked on sticks, like eaten over charcoal holes. And there's some like figs as well. So you can see that the people are hawking various foods. Insofar as drinks, it seems like they have some kind of fermented wine made of coconut, and of course water, which you can get from the well if you just want to drink water. So that just to give you, I don't give you a lot. What you've got so far for clues is that that you're looking for this feathered crown, and that you're looking for something called the Island of the Serpent. Other than that, you don't really, and obviously whatever other adventure you might find here. Other than that, you're kind of in a new world with adventure in every direction. So, what y'all like to do?
Brickhild looks towards Panesta and goes, "What is the god that you served? You've spoke of him before. Maybe we should find the temple and you go there and see if they could give you any information of these names and things we have on our map and what we've heard."
If there is a Temple of Rel here, yes, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Are all the temples to the same god, Daniel?
No.
Okay.
That is actually well, since you have a pretty good, since you roll a 1, you can see that the main ones that are like in the main square, they seem to be, one is to Rama, the Thunderer, Hama, the Destroyer, and Gormar Sotha, the Ape from the Moon. Those are like the big ones that you see, which of course you've never heard of before, most likely. These are clearly local gods. You do see other stuff though, like you can look down and you can see like your Sistaqua and and your kind of Apollo, like all the normal ones that you would see in Hyperborea. They're set further and further back. But yeah, if you guys want to wander around looking for a Temple of Rel, you will eventually find one. It is quite small. It's like a lean-to with a single person in there. It's a woman. She's, you would guess, somewhere between 15 and 17 years old. And you see her with the symbol of Rel. And she's doing actually sleight of hand kind of tricks, if you will. And people are throwing coin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll give her a few coins, and I have my holy symbol of Rel.
Oh. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, if she sees that, she would be pretty impressed. She has one, but it's made out of wood. Some kind of wood, a really dark wood that you probably have not seen before. And it's clearly like handmade. Like it's not, like it's very rough looking. As is basically the symbol on the wall. And she says, she takes it and she says, "Aha! I see, another follower of Rel."
Yes, he has helped me in the past.
Yes. Rel helps us all, if we help ourselves,
Well,
when help
yes,
is needed.
Yes, you must be willing to take chance and risk for Rel.
Exactly.
Yes. Panesta is gold. It's the one she got from Kassan.
Yeah, I mean, even though she's got this holy symbol that's like very much handmade, like everybody else, she's dressed in silks. They're very simple, but they're silk clothes. And she says, "Yeah, hold on, I'm getting a vision. You've just arrived."
Very astute. We have just arrived.
Yes, you and companions numbering, I'm just gotta look around the corner of her eye, she counts everybody. 5.
That is true.
She's
Rel
truly a prophet.
I've got a bit of the vision.
Rel must favor you.
Yes.
But since we are newly arrived, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I am Michi.
Michi.
Yeah. We'll say priest.
Priest.
Of Rel. She's not going to say cleric because she's not a cleric. All right, so she would say priest. Priest of Rel.
Since we just arrived here, do you have any advice for newcomers to Lemuria?
All things are possible in the area. On the map of Hyperborea that is displayed in the great halls of Cromarium, which doesn't mean anything to you, even though you're from Cromarium, so she's clearly saying something. The remnant is but a tiny speck But here we could see is an entire world where everything and anything could happen. Indulge, but be sure to give back to the gods for their favor.
Well, of course. Of course. And I'll look at Brighild and I'll just shrug and say, should I just ask?
Yeah, they're speaking Lemurian, right?
Yeah, they are. I mean, you can understand, but you're missing some of it. Yeah.
You often say Brickyard has no idea really what she's saying, probably, but she says, "Yes, I guess just ask her direct."
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So, Michi, has Rel ever given you a vision of a place that could be known as the Island of the Serpent?
The Island of the Serpent. Roll a d4.
Okay. 2.
Oh, yes, indeed. Beware, for it is called the Island of the Serpent because a giant sea creature, a serpent as it would be, circles the island, consuming all who try to reach there.
And this is something Rel has told you or something you've heard from other people?
Well, I mean, you know how Rel works.
True. Sometimes he puts people in your path to give you information.
That's correct. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Loki nudges Lachlan at this point, and he turns around and whispers to him, "You know, there's something strange about that woman. I don't think she's really a priest."
I think Panest is a better priest than she is.
Yeah. I think she's probably making this stuff as she goes.
Shall we shake her?
Brickyard turns back towards Lachlan and crosses her arms and gives him the look like, "Shut up."
I can't imagine you get many followers of Rel around here.
No, we are a new but burgeoning religion.
All right.
Are there followers of Euler?
I don't know. No. What jeweler?
He's the Viking god.
Yeah, probably.
But he's asking that to the priest or priestess.
Yeah. Yeah, she just kind of squints her eyes. She says, I believe so. I believe so. Oh, are you of the sea?
He shrugs. Yeah.
I see. Roll a d4. Ah. If you plan on hitting the seas, be careful. There's a great pirate fleet hiding somewhere in the Northern Islands.
Thanks for the information. He crosses his arm.
You mean the sea monster didn't get the pirates?
You know?
No, well, the sea monster is by the Isle of the Serpent. The pirates are by the Northern Islands.
Oh, forgive me.
Well, the Island of the Serpent is not to the north then.
Well, I'm not sure exactly where it is. I mean, there's lots of islands to the north.
Hey, why don't we sit down and pray to Rel and see if Rel gives you any
See, that's not how Rel works.
Yes. No.
Let me tell you something. She's only this little tiny thing. And she walks up to you and she like puts her hand. She reaches over your chest. Let me tell you something, my warrior friend.
Yes.
Rel does not operate in such ways. Rel is not one of these gods that want you to sit down and worship and pray and do all these things. Rel is the god that helps those who help themselves.
Aha.
Yes. If you would like to know where it is, you should talk to those who explore the seas.
That
That
that's
advice
quite
I will give to you
wise.
for free.
That's true.
That's right. As a matter of
Very
fact,
wise.
there is, if you go to the Merchants Guild, they are offering a reward for locating the pirates. Clearly, men that work in the sea will want to take that reward, so you could meet with them.
Yes.
You are clearly now a worshiper of Rel, and I will expect a 10% tithe when you get returned.
Okay. Now, Rel, since I believe Rel,
Yes.
right? I take things. What was it that you said again? I just do what I want, and Rel's okay with it.
That's an oversimplification.
Okay. Well, I'm a simple
But you-
man,
You
Yes,
seem to be
he
a simple
is.
man.
and so what was the other thing? I just take.
No,
Rel helps
No.
those who take things for themselves.
no, that is not what I said at all.
No? What did you say?
Clearly, you're not paying attention.
I hear the call of Euler outside. And then he starts to stride out.
Name something that's in your belt pouch. Mike.
Something that's in my belt pouch?
Yep.
Yes, I have a piece of dried meat.
All right. So she looks at you and she says, "For instance,"
Yes.
and then she kind of does this like thing, and she has a piece of dried meat in her hand, and she says, "That is just taking something from somebody. That's not what Rel wants you to do."
Okay. And I open my hand.
And then she puts it back in your hand,
Okay.
and she says, "What you need to do is look out for yourself and be brave and thoughtful and pay attention so that people don't take your stuff."
Bricchio burst out laughing.
That's all it is. I just have to be thoughtful and make sure people don't take. I thought you said Rel helps those who help themselves.
That is correct.
Okay,
That
well,
doesn't
I'm
mean
going to
take-
help myself to your stuff.
That would be a mistake.
Well, I think Rel is helping me.
Rel would not steal from the priestess of Rel. Think about it.
I was thinking this way. Maybe he's teaching you humility.
I mean, that could be the case. However,
Or teaching you thoughtfulness.
and she kind of like looks, and you see she's looking down at your leg.
Yes.
And if you look down, there's a small cut there. She says, "I could just give you the antidote to the poison, which I have administered to you, and then you could walk away."
Oh, so you poisoned me.
Because Rel told me that you would try to take my things. Be on your
I
way.
wasn't.
I'll give it to your friend.
Being the master of the outlands and a knower and understander of poison, can I tell? I can identify this poison.
Are you guys try to suck it out of your own leg?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Go
gonna
ahead.
sit down and
Okay. Yeah. You sit down to do that, and then when you look up, she's gone. She takes off.
see. That's what I thought. Well, I'm sorry, Panesta. I don't mean to scoff at your god, but I don't think she was truly a priest.
Oh, Rel priests can be like that. Trust me. But she wasn't saying to take things. We were talking about taking chances and risks to find
Right.
your rewards.
Yes. Well, apparently you know, cutting new converts is part of this religion. I see.
Well, I got peed on when I was baptized, so
Also, this is a baptism of sorts.
it must be.
Ah, well, this is interesting.
Would you like a holy symbol? I have an extra one.
I'll take.
Okay, I'll give him the silver one that I have. You now have a silver holy symbol of Rel.
I'll put it on.
You're clearly a convert now.
Yes, Crom, forgive me, but I'm sure he doesn't care.
Well, I look at Brighild, I say, I don't know if she really had heard of the Island of the Serpents. Rel priests can be enigmatic. But
Well, it would seem just we should pick out one of the ale houses here and just I guess let Lackland and Balky and their testosterone fueled minds find out some information for us.
yep, and we also know that we could perhaps ask the Merchants Guild
Yes.
if they're looking for pirates. They also might know, since they sail the seas, rumors about this island.
Now, I'm not all big on the gods or whatever, but this crown, what was it? The crown of Asaria or something like that? Is Asaria one of these gods I don't know of?
Yeah, you guys have never heard of the feathered crown of Nanasa before.
Inasa, that's where it is.
Nanasa, yeah.
And also,
Yeah. You that's something that you didn't know. Apparently, the legends lead back here, but you don't know much about it except for that it's some kind of an artifact.
Okay.
Yeah, everything on
No.
her is a bit strange. You also see, as you kind of gather around, you see down the road, you see this girl again. She's got 6 what appear to be guards, like town guards. They got spears and shields. And she sees you pointing in your direction.
Okay.
okay.
I got this. Don't worry.
Oh, I'll go with you.
Of
Okay.
course you do. You have your symbol of rail. You can just explain it was a misunderstanding.
Yes. And as the watch is approaching, I go, "Ah, sirs, you found the priest who assaulted me."
They kind of squint at you and they say, they can clearly hear your accent and
Yes.
the way you're dressed, and they look at you and they say, you are clearly a foreigner, so you are now having your one warning. Do not come to this town and threaten the priests.
I was merely asking a question. I'm a new convert, and I was trying to gain understanding. If she
You
took
should
it
shut your
as
mouth
a
now.
threat,
You should shut your mouth now or you'll be whipped.
I just turn around and I look at Panesta. Okay, I think you can handle this.
Yes, just thank you for the warning. You know, new converts to Rel can be reckless and impulsive.
Yes. Understood.
Okay.
No harm, no
thank you.
foul. Just keep your man under control.
I will certainly try.
Is there any particular reason that you happen to be in the city? Are you here on a pilgrimage? I see that you are a worshiper of Rel. But what of the others? He kind of nods towards the party.
I show him my silver piece of Rel.
Yeah, he just squints at you.
I'm a follower of Rel too.
I'm here collecting stories.
Off
And
on the
rumors.
corner. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Nope, go ahead, Belky.
Off on the corner, about 15 feet away from you guys, at the steps of the temple, Balky is sitting down, and you see him picking out something out of his ear. And he looks at you and says, he waves at you.
Okay.
Brickhill is looking to see where Sorka is went and trying to find her.
Sorka is at the docks drawing fish. I made that. Yeah, I made it clear. I was at the docks. I was drawing fish. That's where I've been the whole time.
All right. Okay. All right. I assume you went with the rest of the party. Okay, that's fine. So Sorka's not there. If you left her at the docks, I guess. Data strange land.
By this time, if she has like finished with the fish, she might go to like maybe some flower shops or something to like maybe inquire about like local fauna and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if as you walk up the main drag, you see people. Most of what you're seeing, people selling things, are basically just tables set up in the street. But yeah, you find some people that have flowers and such. You can start talking to them about it. Most of it's quite strange to you, but you get the general gist of it being that you're a druid.
Yeah, I'll make like as many notes and like if they'll let me draw stuff, I will. I have a little bit of money. I might also buy something if anything catches my attention. I don't know if they use the same money I do, but I can see.
Yeah, I mean, gold is gold. They'll take your gold. It's marked different, but it'll look the same. Yeah, I mean, there lots of people are coming and going. As long as you don't get in anybody's way, they don't harass you for drawing. Yeah. So the guard. So you're collecting stories. He says.
Yes.
Interesting. Roll a d6 and then a d4.
Okay. It's another 1 on the d6. And a 1 on the d4.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Couple ones.
He says, believe it or not, kind of leans in. They say that there are snake men, and they infest an island to the north called the Island of the Serpent. He kind of leans back.
Snake men, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
Don't you have a thing for snake men?
Well, a thing. Have you seen a snake man? The last snake men on Lemuria were wiped out thousands of years ago, I was told, but lately there's been rumors.
On an island to the north called the Island of the Serpent.
Is that the one with all the pirates?
The pirates are, well, I don't know if I'd call them lots of pirates, but there's definitely pirates to the north. They're not really sure where they're camped out of. Oh, are you a reaver?
A reaver. I'm not familiar with that term.
Good. That's good.
He is of low intelligence.
He smiles.
And by the way, whoever told him about the snake man thing, which it had to be Brighild, I guess, is going to, yeah. But no,
Brighild and I did a lot of drinking. Stories were exchanged.
Balky walks over at this point and joins the party. Excuse me.
Has anyone seen these snake men? Or is it just a rumor?
Well, nobody heads out. Well, that's not true. You know that, I mean, another guard says that. You know that there was some settlers were trying to settle in and expand over there to that island. So they may have seen them, although nobody's come back. Months ago, they've been gone. Guantan, Guantan's daughter was one of them, and she's never come back. He was looking a little worried about that last time I saw him.
Wantan?
Where do we find this Wantan?
Yeah.
Really? Well, Guantan's the headman. You find him in the hut in the center of town. I recommend that you watch your tongue when you go in there.
Does he sell heads? Is that what you're saying, or is he's? Remember,
No.
I'm the dumb one.
Lachlan, it's not literal. He's the leader.
Oh, okay. I'll be quiet
Right.
now.
Right. Leader. Yes. Yeah. He says. Yeah. He says. This is the other guard. This is one of the other guards. He says, "Oh yeah, so maybe they've sent somebody already to investigate, but they were supposed to. Typically, if we try to set up a settlement on an island, after a few weeks, they send back word. But it's been months, from my understanding."
See,
Well,
this
Maybe
Maybe
go
you should
ahead.
go and talk to this 110.
those snake men, they don't wear like feather hats or anything, right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right. You haven't seen them.
Yeah, I mean, in all the stories that I've seen them, they're generally just wearing helmets of iron.
Oh, helmets of iron. Yeah, that doesn't sound like feathers.
No.
I heard a rumor that snake men can impersonate other people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do know that they, from our teachings, that they are masters of a dark sorcery.
Sorcery. I hate sorcery.
Yeah. A dark sorcery. So where is this Wontan?
You said over there in the center of the town.
Yeah.
The big hut, remember?
Yeah. If we gave you some coin, could you make an introduction for us?
Yeah. The main guy that came up, he kind of looks at the guy that mentioned the rumor, and he says, he kind of nods his head, and then the group walks away except for the one guy, not the one that yelled at you, but the guy that told you about Guntan. And he says, "Sure, I'll bring you to Guntan. That's not no problem. This is one of the services that we provide here to pilgrims."
We appreciate
Even
it.
if
Thank you.
He mutters under his mouth, pilgrims, because he was out of that building at that point when you guys are talking about pilgrims.
Yeah, we're pilgrims.
He shrugs. Well, all right.
I'm a convert.
Already, Lachlan?
Well, so we're on a pilgrimage.
Yeah, who did you worship before?
Oh, I still worship Crom, but he doesn't care.
I don't know. Crom would probably look down upon you for so readily abandoning the faith, wouldn't you
Oh.
think? He looks at Panesta.
Abandoning the faith? I don't think so. I don't think he cares.
Maybe he won't. Or maybe he won't bless you in the time of battle. Who knows? He shrugs and walks away.
Yeah, he's never blessed me before. So I'm beginning to like this rel thing, kind of do what you want and get what you want. That sounds like my type of thing.
Maybe you two muscleheads should keep your mouths shut and let Panesta speak to the head man, since Panesta does understand the language much better than all three of us combined.
Well, I was not there in the building when you guys were talking.
I was
the way-
just trying to be friendly.
Did you get anything more out of that charlatan?
We need to talk to several people around town, Belky. We need to talk to the Merchants Guild, and now there's Gontan.
Well, lead the way.
Yes, maybe he can tell us where the island is where his daughter went to settle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And maybe we could get some coin if we offered to go look for her.
Well,
I'm curious how those people got around that serpent that's guarding the island.
Okay, did you believe anything that little one said? I didn't.
Well, I didn't either, but who knows? You could never be so certain in these foreign lands. And he
Yeah.
looks around and he sees all these people that are about like half his size. It just isn't natural around here. This land is unlike the place that I'm from.
Lachlan,
Yes.
if you start saying some prayers to Rail now, maybe there'll be a few coins just drop at your feet.
No, we're not going to pull that trick, are you? Or you just start
Until
throwing stuff at me?
he holds up his finger and he says, until we're really, really broke. And we'll all be doing that.
Right. I think we're going to give him coin and we're going to get a job out of this.
well, the island of the serpent is where we are looking for anyway. So, and if we can get some
Exactly.
extra money,
Well, job and adventure
See?
is why we're here after all. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, nut didn't fall far from the tree.
Okay.
all right. Let's
So
go
yeah,
to-
you guys are heading back towards. He's leading you back towards the main drag there. You see Sorka. She's drawing flowers, hanging out at one of the flower stalls.
Hey Daniel. Well, one thing I'm wondering real quick. Does my my ability class the natural identification? Like as I'm looking over these flowers and maybe some animals in some cages or something, does it work here?
Yeah, I mean, you would be able to do it by kind of looking at them and examining them. I mean, if you start messing with the flowers, then they're going to say something to you.
Mm-hmm.
You
No,
know,
I'm just
it's not
kind of
like
looking at them.
You don't. Nothing looks like. You see lots of things that you've never seen before, and yes, with some time, you could figure it out. You like break a piece off, you see how it's done, you take a bite of it, whatever. I mean, that's how that works. It's not like you just magically look and tell. It's not magic; it's skill. So you could do it, but it would require you to mess with the stuff and not just stand there and draw it.
Okay, how
Yes.
much? I mean, like, if I want to like buy some, some plants or something, like how much? How much can I spend to like buy some stuff?
You could buy a couple different things for, let's say, a gold piece. It's not tremendously expensive. They mostly
And-
are making them into like wreaths, that you can wear or you put on the statues and stuff like that. Or there's some little just like clusters with they rip the petals off and throw them down. Various types of flowers.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll spend like a gold piece and buy some plants and stuff that I can actually study
All right, yeah, for sure.
and get a
I
connection
mean,
with.
yeah, and there's no like animals for sale per se, except for the stuff that people are feeding. It's like lizards and stuff that they're eating, but they're not alive. So
Yeah.
Belky sees Sorka and says, "Hey, Sorka, you want to join us? We're heading out there to speak to some big head honcho."
Do you need me?
Sure. Don't you want to see what sort of plants and animals that they have in that hut?
I mean, there's plenty of plants and animals around the village.
Well, we'll catch you out here later then.
Okay.
Hey, Daniel, just to confirm, this is not a village, right? I mean, this is a very large city, right?
well, I mean, it's for where you are. It's relatively large, but it's not like huge. It's like as big as Port Greeley, so it's a town.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably like, let's see, I'll tell you right now. I think there's like, I would say there's maybe 1,000 people here, so it's not as big as Cromarium, but it's big. Yeah, it's not a tiny little village.
Bricchio looks towards Panesta and goes, I'm going to stay with the little one here. She's too engaged with her plants and stuff, and she should not be alone in a town that we know nothing about yet. Someone could just snatch her up and we would never see her again. I'll stay with her and we'll find you three. I guess if Lackland doesn't get you killed or arrested, maybe.
No, I'm not going to do that. Besides, you could see us easily between me and Belky. I mean, Just look for the large guys walking.
Oh, of course. But I'm going to stay with the plant lady here just to keep her safe in case something does happen.
Yeah, just yell for us if you ever find yourself in trouble.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly correct myself. Actually, it is considered a city-state, so there's probably 5,000 people. So yeah, it's pretty big. You're just in the dock area right now, so sorry, I had to recheck that. But it's the smallest of the city-states, but it's still a city-state. Yeah, so you can head up, and you do see in the center of town. There's like again, unlike Cromarium, where you've got the Hyperborean construction that's thousands upon thousands of years old. This stuff is also old, but the majority of it is wooden. It's like they keep rebuilding it or fixing it. Some of it looks like it's quite ancient, even though it's wood. It just lasted the big, huge timbers and such. And this house is like that. This is kind of center the headman place. It's basically as you approach it, it's kind of got like an open court in the front with stairs going up, and it's got huge, wide open doors. And then as you kind of look in, you can see that it's kind of a very large space. And you can see there's people kind of like lined up, waiting to speak with the headman. He's sitting in like some kind of a chair, throne or whatever, and he's answering questions and doing what the headman does. So you start
Belky looks around and says, "Hey, this is no hut. This is a palace." And he looks at Panesta for her reaction.
Well, it is the leader's dwelling, so it makes sense that it's large.
It's as elaborate as, any of those fine buildings in Cromarium.
Yes, it is. It's very interesting, this Lemurian place.
You think Gunlen would speak to us?
There's only
Gunten?
one way. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he says, Gunlen? Gunten? What was his name? I forget.
Wontan?
Guantan, that's right.
Yeah, you can pretty clearly see. I mean, the way that you see it, this is not uncommon. It's like when he's holding court, basically, just when anybody can get in line to talk to him. So if you just jump online, you take your turn. You're not going to get. It's not like you have to get a special. I guess you would if he wasn't there, but he's there right now. So if you wait online, you can. You see people in front of you with most of them seem to be pilgrims. You would imagine just by overhearing some of the conversations. They all seem to have various gifts that they're bringing. To present to the city state. And it's something that they keep referring to as the council. And yeah, I mean, you wait in line for like half an hour or whatever, and in the meantime, out in the street, you can continue to draw stuff. If you're standing by too long drawing pictures of flowers and stuff, and you probably get a little bit of attention. People are wondering what you're doing, but nobody gives you a hard time about it. Sorka, people do a lot of things here. It's a religious pilgrimage for a lot of people, so you don't encounter any kind of hassle. And eventually, you get to the front of the line. This guy is he's quite bulky, quite muscular, still petite in height, but he's very, very wide, and clearly was a powerful warrior. Maybe still is in his day, but you can see that his hair, although it is still jet black like most of the people you see here, you can see streaks of gray in it, and in his beard. And when you approach, he says, welcome, pilgrims. It is always excellent to see. And he kind of looks, and you can see the holy symbols around your necks. And he pauses for a second, then somebody that's standing like behind his thing leans forward and whispers in his ear, and he says, "Worshippers of Rel. Ah, that is one of our burgeoning religions here in Lemuria. So welcome."
Thank you, and thank you for speaking with us, Mr. Wontan. I did have a question. We'd heard a rumor, and we're wanting to know if we could be of some help to you.
Oh, you come to help me. Well, that's excellent. He kind of leans back. Normally people come here because they need help from me.
Well, we had heard that some settlers had disappeared, and that one of them had happened to be your daughter, unfortunately.
Ah, yes. Kaori. She left some 2 months ago to the north. They were trying to settle in on the the plateau of Enmui. Strange they haven't sent anybody back. He kind of like half laughs, like a little bit. He says, I mean, there are rumors that the island is encircled by a sea monster, but I'm pretty sure we killed the last sea monster a while back.
And this rumor of snake men on the island? What credence do you give that?
Well, his eyes kind of lift up. Snake men? That can't be. They've been dead for over 1,000 years. We wiped them from the face of Lemuria long before we ended up in this wretched place.
If you
Oh.
lost someone that you love, perhaps we can return the one that you lost to you.
Oh? You plan on traveling to the plateau?
My name is Balki, and I came to this foreign land in search of adventure and wealth. And it seems like something to do.
He laughs. He says, to be young. I was once like you, Balki.
You were a warrior?
An adventurer, out seeking glory and fame and riches. And I got it. And you could too.
His eyes widen.
Be brave, but also cautious. And yes, I do in fact need to organize a group to head to the plateau to see what's going on with that settlement. And returning my daughter would be a great favor to me.
Well, we would certainly want to help with that. I am Pinesta, by the way, collector of stories.
Kind of nods. Says, excellent, Pinesta, collector of stories, and Balki, the brave. And who would of these two? Or one, I guess only one now. Who would of this one?
Oh, I'm Lachlan.
Priest of
Let's
Rill?
call me the helpful.
Helpful.
I'm Lachlan the helpful.
He's being modest. I've seen the man cleave a monster in half with his axe and sword before.
Oh. Excellent. Well, the jungles of Lemuria can be quite dangerous, so if you are adept with the use of your axe and sword, that will certainly be helpful. So you will earn your moniker.
Yes.
He
So
says,
I was wondering, how can you help us help you?
When
guy tilts his head.
when does your men depart? We would like to join up with them.
Yes. Tomorrow. No sense in waiting. When adventure calls. Right, my young friend?
As you say, sir.
And I will put you up here for the evening. I see you are carrying much gear. I'm assuming you just got off the boat.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, we will get you some food and a place to stay. If you are able to return my daughter, or proof that she is safe great rewards will come to you. And I'm quite sure you'll find that adventure that you're looking for.
Yes.
He does that little like thing, and then a couple guys come around and they kind of lead you off. Or try to, anyways.
I think we're done talking to him.
That's how he does it. He's got a line of people.
Yes. I've been
Somebody else comes up
dismissed.
behind him. Yeah, exactly. No, the other people come up. They've got some just they're trying to decide who owns the lizard or whatever, and then they're arguing about it. He's holding court. They bring you to the back of the space, which basically you kind of go back a bit, and there's like another set of doors you go through, and it's almost identical on the other side, like a very big space, but it's broken up by what appear to be movable walls. You would imagine they're very very thin, almost like saplings. It looks like they're like strapped together to create these like walls that have legs, and they're kind of dividing up the space. And the guy that or the guys, there's two of them that bring you back. They're just dressed, in silks. Everybody that you see is dressed in silks, but they're just like kind of loinclothy, basic. They have like little kind of curved swords strapped to their girdles, and they kind of bring you back, and they say, "We'll prepare some beds and food for you for the night, and drinks. If you have any other business in town, feel free to take care of it. Come back through this door." And they kind of point to the back door. If not, you can wait here or whatever they say. Then they walk away and go over to some servants and have them start to set an area up for you.
Belky says, wait, we have a couple more companions in our party. And I only see 3 beds and not enough room for all of us.
Yes, we have 2 more.
2 more, okay. Yeah, nonsense. Very well. There shall be beds for all, and food and drink.
Where would we find the weapon shop?
There's not really a weapon shop. What are you looking for? The monks do forge some weapons, but I doubt that they would be for sale.
Hunting gear, perhaps?
Like arrows?
Knives, arrows. I've heard of this strange thing called the bola, and I would like to get my hands on one if you know where they have it.
Ebola. Yeah, the Zoan Monastery. Is that in this area? Hold on, let me just make sure. No, that's actually too far away for you to go right now. But they probably have some monks here. The Zoans would be the most likely. They keep a small shrine here, and they kind of tell you where it is. It's like you go back on the main dragon, you head down, you go off, and it's down one of the side streets. But they explain to you how to get there if you want.
Awesome.
Their main monastery is in the mountains, but they keep a small shrine here.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah. Is that what you guys are going to go? Are you going to pick up the rest of your party, or are you going to?
I would go back to Breakfield and
Yeah.
and Sorka.
Okay.
We wanted to talk to the merchants too, right? Or do you think we not need
Yep.
them now that we've secured passage with those guys?
You're
we need to go
wise
see-
to. Yeah, you're wise to say that we should talk to these merchants. We should find out as much as we can before we leave.
And we should see what kind of reward they're offering for finding these pirates.
He grins at Panesta. Brilliant mind.
Okay. Are y'all going to go together, or how do you want to? You're picking up Brighild and Sorka, right? Assuming
If we're gonna go look for, if he's gonna go to like a weapon shop, I would like to buy a quarterstaff.
Okay, you guys can go to talk to the monks to see what they have. It's not really a weapon shop; it's just the monastery. But you can certainly go there. Is everybody going to go there, or are you going to split up?
Well, Balky's gonna go there last. I mean, we're gonna go and talk to the merchants together and find out. And before the nightfall, maybe stop by the the monastery.
Okay, so everybody's going to the Merchants Guild, which is basically, you saw it. It's on the dock. Basically, it's right by the docks. Yeah, so you guys head down. You see this is a building. Again, like most of the buildings here, this is of wood. It's of that same kind of wood that you saw the dividers in the very large hall made out of, but it's much, much thicker trunks, like, 6 inches wide. Kind of dark, almost like a dark, leaf top, but the wood itself is a kind of a lighter green. And it's got big, wide doors open in the front. And as you approach, you can see that they're doing trade. That's where they basically come and everybody sets up to do their trade. They're the different ships, and they kind of organize. There's only so many docks, so they kind of organize. Somebody comes in, unloads onto another ship. They don't. You get the feeling by looking and being that you're from Cromarium, most of you. You understand, like, Cromarium, like warehouses and stuff. They seem to not have space for that, so they just kind of, if you're trading with that guy, you like bring your ships together and you do the trade. So they kind of organize that. So you can basically see lots of tables in here, people talking and making deals and stuff. And yeah, I mean, if you walk in where clearly, like, the guy that's organizing stuff, or the table where they're organizing stuff, and talk to them, you see kind of a heavy set guy. He's there with a big like a plate of dates in front of him, and he's eating them. And he sees you come in, and he looks and he says, "You came in with the Amazonians, right?"
Yes, we did.
Oh, thought they left already. Do they have more to trade?
Well, we are here for other reasons.
Oh, do tell. And he kind of pulls like a piece of parchment out and puts another date in his mouth.
Well, we've heard there are rumors of pirates in the Northern Islands.
Huh. That's the truth. Well, that's what we're told anyways. If we could find that pirate base, then we would know for sure.
So how are you told about the pirates? There's survivors of the pirate fleet?
Yes. People who come with, who are supposed to have certain shipments and they don't have them anymore. I don't want to say that I'm distrustful of people, but sometimes you gotta wonder, do they really get raided by pirates? Or are they just keeping the stuff for themselves?
Oh, I see.
That's right.
I see.
So one way or the other, we need to find out about these pirates. There is a 500 gold piece reward if you want to take that Amazonian ship and go look for them. They're rumored to be towards the northern part of the remnant. Just be careful of the winds up there. You get sucked back out into sea and off into the Black Gulf.
500 gold pieces.
Yes, I'll add 20 gold pieces per head.
Balky looks at Panesta and shrugs. And he leans in and whispers, "Is that really worth our time?"
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 500 gold pieces for a pirate camp.
Well, for locating the pirate camp, yeah.
Oh, just for locating.
Yeah, and 20 gold pieces per head if you were to go in there and kill the pirates.
You want the actual heads?
Well, how else will we count?
How would you know they're pirate heads?
Well, they'll probably be missing one eye where the patch is.
Yeah. Balky shrugs.
Well, I mean, if they're in the pirate camp, then clearly they're pirates.
Right.
Maybe the pirate camps would have something for us to keep. He whispers to Lachlan.
See, it wasn't that stupid of a question when I asked if the head guy actually collected heads, right?
I'm seeing the wisdom in your words now.
Yeah. See, because now we're getting paid 20 a head.
You know, taking the Amazonian ship, they might charge us more to take it. We'll take your job if you add 250 gold for our expenses. We have plenty in our
Well,
party.
Well, that seems pretty reasonable to me. If you come back with the pirates, if you come back with 15 heads, then yeah, I'll give you $300, 300 gold pieces. That's 500.
I'm gonna need a lot of bags
Yes.
and salt as well.
Well, maybe. But you would give us the 20 gold per head anyway.
He leans on it and says, I did not become the head of the Merchants Guild by just giving money away. But if you were to prevent or prove that there are pirates and eliminate the scourge that they are causing, I'm sure that we could take care of you. If there are pirates, they must have a ship. If you were to destroy their camp, you could keep the ship. That makes it worthwhile for you. That's right. Ships are quite expensive.
Balky's eyes nearly pop out. He says that, well, a ship, that's something that we've never had before.
Realize it could be just a bunch of rowboats.
Well, they ought to be better than longboats.
Well,
A true ship.
we'll have to see what we can see. 500 gold, 20 gold per head.
That sounds like a good deal. That I can do.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right. Balky says, we shall be back when we find these pirates. And he leaves.
Excellent. He puts another date in his mouth and kind of sits back. Then you hear him call out to somebody else who walked in. Oh, you're back. And he kind of,
All right. We'll find the pirate camp, I'm sure.
Well, if we don't, then, that's fine because we already have a job lined up for us.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
So,
Do we even need to bother? Well, if there is even a pirate camp, it's just a rumor, as far as we know.
well, I could get some supplies for my gear. That fella back at the headman's palace or hut, he did say that there's a temple that sells these supplies. You want to accompany me over there, or should we meet back at the lodging?
Said, let's go. We're going to pick up more supplies. Why don't we see what the head guy was going to supply us?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that I have what I need.
Oh, that bola thing or whatever.
Yeah. It's supposed to be these two rocks that are tied together to a rope or something. I've never seen it before, but I want to
So
see
why
whether
don't you
if they
just
sell them.
get a rope tied together.
Yeah, I'm not so sure whether if that's going to work, but who knows? If I can't find it, I may have to come to that.
Well, I'm sure if you just go and buy a rope, and me and Lackland can find a couple of rocks, and Lackland, he's an expert at tying stuff together, so he could just make you one.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
could
Well,
try.
let's see if we can find how they make these things out here. I'm going to stop by the temple anyway.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna go to the temple. Who else is going? I guess Sorka's going, right? Because you wanted to get a staff.
Up to the weapons temple? Yes.
It's not a
I'll
weapons
go.
temple. Just
Well, I mean, like, whichever. Where, if I can go and get a staff from there, yes.
well, you're gonna find out. It's
I
the place
would
that
go to
you're gonna
some-
find it.
I'd like to go to some kind of like Brighild said alehouse or something to.
Okay.
Yeah,
More-
Brickhill's going with Panesta because Brickhill's going to try to talk some sense into Panesta, saying that they're not there to really look for pirates or hunt for pirates, and try to talk some sense into Panesta while they're away from the two lugheads.
Okay. Fair enough.
You
Okay,
throw
yeah,
that
see-
term around so loosely.
As it gets a bit later in the day, you see actually some of the larger temples that you had seen before. They bring out like these like tall tables, like you could stand at, basically standing tables, and you see people gathered around, and they're bringing up pitchers of fermented coconut wine. So that's basically where you would go to drink or whatever. If you wanted to gather around and drink in like a public house, that's probably where you would go to do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking for rumors and stuff.
Okay, sure.
More stuff about this
Of course.
island and. Yep.
Of course you are. All right, go ahead and you and Brigel get some rumors. Go ahead and roll a d6 and a d4.
Okay. I rolled a 4 on the d6,
Mhm.
and a 3 on the d4.
Well, what you hear, because you're kind of listening, especially particularly for the piracy, is that you do hear people talking about it, but as far as you can tell, there's been like a pirate raid in the last month, like very, very small scale. So not like it's not like this massive pirate fleet that's wiping everybody out. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I heard that a ship got. Yeah, but was that even pirates? Like you kind of hear that.
Okay.
And
I had
Brigel, you can-
a 6 and a 1.
Oh, nice. Oh, you actually hear something about the island that you're going to, the plateau of Enemy, and that is that. Well, it was besides these people that have gone there. It is completely uninhabited. So that kind of links up with what you already heard, in a sense that they were the first settlers going there.
Yeah, hearing the pirate stories, Brickhill was going to tell Panesta, see, it's just, I don't think we should waste too much energy on the pirate story. I mean, we're here for other things, and this headman that you spoke to, it sounds like that would be the best option. I mean, of course, if we run into pirates that just happen to try to take something from us, I mean, we're not going to let them, I hope. But I mean, I do not think we should waste too much of time or energy on these pirates for now.
You're probably right, Brighild. But you know me, I have to talk to everybody.
Well, and I know being around Balky and Lackland, it's hard to try to talk sense into them. So that's why I wanted to speak to you alone about it. And, maybe we can talk some sense into them together.
Well, we have the job that the headman gave us, and I think they'll be happy enough with that.
Yes, I agree too. I think that would be the best, most valuable option for us right now to do.
Agreed. Pet Merchants Guild wasn't offering enough money anyway.
You
So
guys are 6th level. You're higher rollers.
that's right.
Okay. Yeah. So back at so you guys follow the path to this monastery that you were told about. This building's a little bit different than anything you've seen so far. In that it is made of stone. At least the walls are. It seems to be. At first, you're wondering maybe like how is this place even standing? Because it's stacked stone, But you're used to seeing, let's say, in Cromarium, like really perfectly like brick laid. This looks like it's just all loose. There's no mortar. It's literally just stacked stone, and it rises up to about 20 foot tall, and it's open in the front, and there's no like roof over it. It's basically just a courtyard. And when you approach, you can actually hear the sounds of which you well, I mean, you're all warriors. Well, the druid's not a warrior, but you've been around warriors enough to you can see what sounds like combat training going on. And when you walk in, the you see about 18 men, 19 total, 18 that are 20. 18 that are kind of in a square being trained. Another one in front of them, kind of calling off the moves, and a quite old man sitting on what is a very tall stool, kind of watching with his arms crossed. And when he's got like his arms inside his sleeves, and as soon as you step in the gate, he just like turns, and they finish the move they're doing, and they all stop. And the man who's doing the training kind of turns around, and they look at you, and the old man says, welcome. Have you come to venerate the great snake? Well, the great serpent, I should say. The celestial serpent at that.
Celestial serpent. Yes.
Yeah, what was his name again?
We don't know much about the serpent, so we
Also-
came here to learn
Yeah.
from you.
He nods. He says, knowledge, secrets of knowledge are always welcome. Bodzu, the celestial serpent, circles the world and keeps everything in balance. And he starts basically telling this whole story about the fable of the serpent and how it came to be. And as he's doing it, what you can imagine are the monks. They start essentially doing these these moves, like almost like combat moves, but very dance like, almost like they're putting on like a recital, and going through as he's telling the stories. Like the serpent came, and they're doing that kind of stuff with it. And then he finishes the story, and they stomp their feet, and they're just kind of standing there.
That is very impressive.
Yeah, that was very good.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that.
Yes, I feel a little bit more. He looks at Lachlan, enlightened, right?
I said, yeah. I mean, this technique. What do you use it for? These dance moves. Can you show me how to do it?
Well, if you surrender all of your possessions and join the monastery and commit absolute loyalty, yes.
Perhaps another time, but for now, we came here to barter with your monastery. I heard that you furnish the city with with some gear that one could use when we go out hunting and such.
I mean, I know it says, yes, the monastery is the one of the few places with a forge. So we do, in fact, forge iron, though it is quite rare. We prefer to train our bodies as weapons.
I hear that there is such a weapon called the bola. These are ropes with weights at the end. Do you have them, perhaps?
He kind of like steps down off his stool, like very light on his feet, and the old man, he kind of walks towards you and he says, you have come seeking the weapon.
And how to use them?
I see. He turns and he goes, there's a lot of clapping in Lamara. And the guy that was training the people comes running up next to him and he says, first I must see what you can do.
Surely you don't mean that, right? Because there's no need to battle or spar. I just wanted to see if I could find some of these weapons.
I must see if you are prepared for it.
Well, he looks at Lachlan, and he looks at Sorka, and he shrugs. Well, I suppose if that's the requirement, then I'll have to take up the challenge.
He kind of walks back to his chair and sits down. And the students all kind of like, they form a circle around you. And he says, whoever lays hand on the other first.
Unarmed combat, is it?
He nods.
All right. Yeah. Balky unbuckles his girdle, and the weapons drop, and he walks up to the center of that arena.
Okay. So just because it's going to be one-on-one, you can add your dex bonus to your initiative. You can add the your attack modifier, just to make it a little more interesting. If you have one for your dex, and it'll just be a d6 plus that. Just see if you go first. Oh, which you might. You got a 5.
I got 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're fast, but he's just a little faster, and he moves forward with the lightning speed. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's gonna hit or not. 12.
It's armor class 5 without the shield.
He may have missed you, which might be all the luck you needed. Let me just look and see what fighting level he's at. Fighting 5. Okay. We roll a 12. That hits. Oh, you see 3. Okay, so yeah, he hits you in the chest. You probably, I mean, you don't take any real damage. I mean, I'll tell you how much you would have taken, but it won't actually be damage. Just so you know. Oh, it would have been 11 points damage, but he like pulls back at the last second. So you just feel like and then like you could, then he kind of like smiles at you, and he says, "Yes, you are ready."
All right. I don't get to make an attack though, right?
Sure.
So, oh, okay.
I mean, you hit you first, but you can do it. Oh yeah, that would hit him for sure. So yeah, you're slightly slower than he is, so he actually hits you first. But you still get him with the 23. I mean, holy crap! Yeah, so he. Hold on, why are you +5 to hit?
That's was it fighting ability is 4 plus
Yeah, you don't
attack
add that
bonus
to your
from.
attack. You don't add
Oh,
that
okay.
to your attack.
Okay. Then...
No, it does it on the roll because it
No,
basically.
I actually manually
okay.
typed it in.
I see.
Yeah.
But either way, it would. Yeah. So you were doing the target 20 thing. Yeah, that would hit anyways. It doesn't matter. It was 18 would hit him. So yeah, you both hit each other, but he gets you just slightly faster, and he nods and he says, "Very good. Come with me." And he kind of like walks off, away from the group to get you the bola. What's everybody else doing?
I was listening to about the snake. I'd kind of like to talk about that if there's time, but if not,
Of course. What would you like to know about the snake? He knows all about the snake.
she talking about balance and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She finds that interesting that he keeps the world in balance, being a druid.
Yeah.
Reminds her kind of Yunde.
Yeah, the celestial snake is kind of like it swims under Hyperborea, like around, and it makes it so that the because the planet is it's flat, so it kind of wobbles, and without the snake, it would tip over, and then everybody would fall off, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, that's the generic. I'm trying to find exactly how they explain it, but that's basically what it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like how long it'd take to talk, because she has basic stuff, but she'd like to talk about that, and then when she gets a chance, she'll ask if she could buy a quarterstaff.
Okay. Okay, so here, I got the breakdown for you here. Wizu, the celestial serpent, the ancient Lemurian deity of law associated with the sun, light, law, agricultural society, protection, duty, enlightenment, and circle of life. Piety, loyalty, government. So this is all stuff that's covered under the snake.
Hmm.
Sometimes sometimes they say that the Botsu will take guys as an old man. Yeah, and some people think that the snake actually lairs in the mountains in the center of Hyperborea. So those are the other things I didn't remember to tell you. Yeah, if you want to buy a staff, you got to. Yeah, I mean, just like a quarter staff.
Yeah.
Okay, well you gotta fight the monk if you want to.
All right. Yeah. I mean, she'll agree to do that.
All right. He looks at you. I mean, being young and not all bulky and heavy, he calls forward because since the main guy's gone. He calls forward one of the other students. So you can roll a d6 plus your defense adjustment for your dex to give it a little bit more flavor.
Okay.
Oh, you got a 6.
Well, I have a 13. I have an attack mod of 1, but I don't have any defense mod.
Then no. The defense is where I said, right? That's what I said for last time. I think so.
Okay. Cool. I rolled a 5.
Oh, okay. So he's slightly faster than you again. Let's see if he hits you though. Oh, actually, what's your AC? This guy might not hit you actually.
I mean, I've been just traveling around town, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm not wearing my armor. I just don't think it makes sense. So I'm just gonna say I have a base AC 9.
Okay, he still doesn't hit you. He's one of the lower trains. He swings. He's faster than you, but you kind of like step out of the way, I guess. He misses you by 2, so it's like he doesn't land a blow on you at all. Go ahead and make an attack.
Okay. Let's see. I'll just do. Oh, I don't. I rolled a 13. It looks like.
Okay. Do you have an attack bonus?
Roll 1d20. Oh wait, I think that just rolled under my strength. I rolled a 1.
Oh.
So I probably missed. I do the miss badly thing.
Yeah. So you both miss each other. And he kind of like claps his hands again. The monk stops. And he kind of scowls at his guy. And the guy runs off to the side, takes a staff, and brings it over and gives it to you. It's not like a regular core staff like you've ever seen before. It's made out of a strange kind of wood. It's much lighter weight. He says, "This is UD's staff. He will have to cut his a new one as he was disgraced in combat by you." And the guy gives you his staff.
Oh. I mean, like, I will, like, bow to him respectfully and thank him. Don't really think he was disgraced because I rolled it in that 1. I probably hit myself or something.
Right, but he didn't hit you first. So. Yeah, so it's fine. I mean, he's not, like, yelling at the guy, but he makes him give you his stuff. And,
Okay.
yeah, you can definitely do that. It's basically made out of, I mean, you guys don't understand. Maybe he explains to you. It's basically bamboo. Because they have bamboo here. There's no bamboo anywhere else in Hyperborea. So
Oh,
a lot of this wood you're seeing is bamboo. So it's very, very light, but very, very strong. So it'll still do the same damage as a core staff.
All right. It's very cool. Very cool. Yep. I'm going to take good care of it.
Okay. Anything else? How about our other warrior?
Lachlan stands up and says, can I just fight them?
Yeah.
I just want to learn how you fight.
Well, you'll need to spend years training to learn.
Yeah, but how about just the first lesson right now? Perhaps you can learn something from me, too.
Possibly. Sure. Yeah, the main guy came back with the bola. He shows you how to use it briefly. I mean, you can use any weapon because you're class, right? So, or you can do bola is one of your preferred weapons or whatever as a berserker. Actually, you can't use a bola, can you? I thought berserkers couldn't use ranged weapons.
When they're raging, right? Or
Well, maybe it's just they don't like to use them. I don't know if it's a rule you can't use them. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it, but I thought you couldn't, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if it's one of your weapons that's you're allowed to use, then you just know how to use it, so you don't have to worry about it. But if it's not, then we'll have to figure that out. You'll have to use it a couple times to get used to it. Just quickly look. Yeah, you can fight this guy if you want. The guy comes back. Sure. He's all about. Of course, now he's feeling confident, which maybe he shouldn't.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Let's see, Berserker. It says opposed to missile weapons. So you can use them, but it's just not something you should be doing. So basically, you don't usually use them. I mean, you can't not. It's not forbidden, but you shouldn't be using them as a berserker. It's not like in character with you to do that, I guess it was saying. But in any case, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, the guy steps up again. You got the first guy. Let me go back to his monk subclass. This guy's the teacher.
So it's barehanded versus his staff. Is that what's going on?
No, he's barehanded too.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, yeah, you're barehanded. Yeah, it's these guys have been using no weapons. The other guy just brought his staff over because that's what Chris's character wanted. Yeah, so it's just we'll do initiative again. Add your defense adjustment if you have one for your decks.
Yeah.
As a modifier to your to your initiative rather. Let's try. Oh, well, you got an 8, so hopefully you have
got
a
an
bonus.
8? I got an 8.
Aha! What's your dex? Probably
16.
Yeah. Well, then you only got a 7.
7. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say because well, hold on, we probably had this. Yeah, because this guy has an 18. So he goes first. You know, he shows you a move. Hopefully, well, he's hoping that he shows you a move. Otherwise, he's gonna look silly. Oh, that might be ideal. He rolled a 19.
Oh.
Yeah. So he hits you, which is so you have to make a transformation saving throw.
A transformation saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually made it.
Okay, so you're not stunned.
Yeah.
But you get hit pretty hard. And actually he's a little surprised because of course he thinks you're going to be stunned.
Yes.
And you're not. So he kind of, oh wow, okay, that would have done what's the damage bonus? 3? That would have done 11 points of damage. I mean, it won't actually do any damage to you, but he hits you and you kind of like you don't fall over nor are you stunned, and he kind of looks at you and he says, you have potential. I like that.
See?
So he says, he kind of walks up, and gently puts his hand on you, and he says, you want to focus on the, this part here over the heart, because, he kind of briefly tells you, I mean, it's nothing you could pick up just by him pointing it out one time, but,
Right.
it's probably interesting to you.
Yes.
And then he kind of, he says, you have given us good exercise. We appreciate it. Please have some wine with us.
I'll sit down.
Yeah, the trainees like run out and they come back with jugs, and they all kind of sit down in a circle on the ground. They pass around cups, and then in a jug of wine, everybody kind of fills up their cup, and then they say some prayers to the serpent, and then the way it works is they explain it to you because it's like a serpent, so you have to drink and then the next person drinks, so it's like a go around in a circle.
Right.
Yep.
I asked him about snake people. I said, all this talk of serpents?
Hey,
Yeah.
Good.
can I do a prayer real quick? And I don't know if I do a prayer and cast a spell, would it be a noticeable spell?
If you're casting a spell, then it's noticeable that you're casting a spell. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they might not know what it is, but a spell is a spell.
Yeah.
You'll be like speaking in tongues or something, So you can certainly do it if you like.
I was thinking about casting Purify Food and Drink, but I don't want to take a chance of insulting them.
Okay. Yeah, you ask about the snake man?
Yeah. I'll ask about
Yeah.
the snake men, if they've heard about these stories from up north.
Let's see if they've heard about it. Let me give a chance there. They have not heard any stories about it, and they, I mean, they say the snake men are worshippers of Yig, typically. You know.
Oh, Yig.
Oh yeah. You know,
As I see.
they're not. Yeah. And of course, you know, Yig is the opposite essentially of Blodsra, their god.
Right.
Blotsu, I should say.
So do these worshippers of Yig, do they wear feathers on their head or like feathered headdresses? Feathered
No.
crowns? Have you ever heard anything like that?
Let me see if that. I mean, so the answer is no, that they don't normally. But I was trying to check if he's heard anything about specifically what you're asking about.
The
No,
crown
he's
of
not heard
Anasa?
anything.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not heard anything about that. And it would seem it wouldn't seem unusual because oftentimes worshippers of the you know, the more animalistic gods like Yig, you know, it's the snakes and the animals and stuff, often do you know, paint themselves in blood or wear feathers or bones, you know, teeth, stuff like that. It's not uncommon. So while he's not, but it's not a normal like standard practice for Yig.
Okay. Yeah, I'll thank him very much.
Yeah.
And I'll and I'll pat the guy that fought me on the head.
Nice.
That will go over well.
Yeah. You're a foreigner, so he doesn't really. He's not offended by it. He took you out.
Sits down and you know, he asks about the island, you know, and what they know about the missing settlers.
They have heard that settlers had gone out there, but they did not know that they were missing or anything like that. Like they've not heard that. They did hear that they were trying to populate. You know, they're always constantly trying to spread out into the various islands, but they had not heard that there was any problems.
We heard from a Relian priestess that there's a giant serpent guarding that island up there. Is that true?
Oh. They've not heard that. So yeah, they're not sure. I mean, could be. Sea serpents are not uncommon. Usually best to stay out of the water.
Good.
Right. He says, you know, if you dangle your feet into the ocean where there are sea serpents, you may as well be a worm.
Wise words, my friend. Wise words. And Balky at this point looks at Lachlan and he says, Lachlan, do you get the feeling that Brighild always dismisses us as lunky idiots? I mean, I see your muscle, but I still recognize your intelligence.
Yeah, she's never liked me. That's okay. It's a thing. Don't worry about it. She just thinks she sees me, she looks at you, she's gonna lump us together.
Yes, but there are qualities that are beyond our mere muscles, right? I mean, my muscles are very impressive, as are yours, but certainly, I do recognize that there's brilliance between us.
Yeah, I agree, but that's fine. That's why I just, you know, when it comes to Brighild, you just gotta let it roll off you like water. You know,
I
just
think
like
we have
rain, just sort of, you appreciate the rain for what it is, but you just let the rain run off you.
I think we have to convince her that we're more than just muscles somehow. We have to use our minds and truly impress her so that she would look at us and say, these are two men who have brilliant minds.
Okay. I think she slept with a stone god at one point because her head is so hard. I mean, she won't, once she gets something in her head, she's not going to deviate from that.
I don't know. I still hold on to the hope that she will someday be impressed with
No,
our.
listen. I've known Pigtails since she was little. I mean, the best thing that she gave me was a brand when she got angry at me, and just happened to swing a tong around and decided to accidentally brand me. Okay.
Mm,
She claims it was an accident. I think there was something more to it, but I let it go. Her, no, she's not going to do that. She's got it into her head that this is what we are. So,
perhaps that is our lot in life. Just
yeah,
a couple of muscles walking down this road that we call life.
yeah, it's okay. Just she's fine. She's really, she's fine. She's a little stubborn. She's a little, once she gets an idea in her head, that's what she's kind of running with. And it's going to be hard to prove her wrong.
Speaking of Brighild and Penesta, we ought to really get back and join them.
Yes. I'm missing Brighild already.
Speaking of Brighild and Finesta, you guys can each roll a d6 for me again.
All right.
3.
3.
Oh, nice. Oh, all right. Well, that worked out perfectly. You hear something of some importance, you would imagine. And I quote, it's an old man telling a story. Many centuries ago, a grand temple stood upon the plateau of... So they're telling you this because you mentioned that you're going to this plateau. Enemy. Enemy. Anyways, that's it. There dwelt a child spawned of the great serpent. A child blessed with powers over life and death, and possessed of infinite knowledge of the utter void. Many were the child's followers, for they came to hear her prophecies and receive her healing touch. They piled heaps of gold and jewels about the child and raised her upon a throne of jade. They called her Nanasa, and they worshipped her. But during the time of chaos, the temple was ruined. The flock fed, and Nanasa's feathered crown was lost. The star dwellers say the child slumbers until such time that her crown is returned. That is related in the Scroll of Yao. So that's what, an old guy tells. There's always an old guy telling you something. That's what an old guy tells you.
Hmm.
Well, it would seem, Penesta, that last time it was spirits that we had to let their bodies go to rest. And it seems like this time we look for a crown to let them rest.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And this is the first we've heard of the feathered crown from these people, so. I wonder. Wonder who the star dwellers are.
Yeah, have we ever heard that before, Daniel, from anywhere?
Good question. Probably not, because that's pretty specific to this area.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically, you would get the idea just if you just kind of ask, but the best way they can explain them to you, if you ask, well, the Star Dwellers, is basically they believe that there are dwellers that mostly live in Saturn, particularly, and that supposedly have traveled. And also they believe that some of the original Lemuria has gone, was sent into the stars as well. It is floating out there somewhere. Yeah. So they're kind of like, they're not people who come here, but that exist out into the stars. So, and people get, they feed the prophets, basically. They feed people with prophecies. I guess that's probably the simplest way to say it without having all the information. If that makes sense.
Well, it definitely seems Vanessa that this plateau we're going to is has some interesting things that it could bring us.
Oh, I agree. Definitely. Think of the stories. And perhaps treasure. Maybe there
Always
is a.
stories.
Yes, always with me. Um, if they pile heaps of gold and jewels around her, maybe there's still treasure there as well.
Yes, and maybe if the story is true about the feathered crown, that if we do return it to the tomb of this child, that we may be rewarded with something more valuable than that crown itself.
That is very wise. Yes, this is going to be an interesting journey.
Excellent. So this is probably a good time to take a break. Being that it's 9:10, and we'll take like 5-10 minutes and come back and see where the journey leads you. Here we go. Okay, we're back. So yeah, you guys hear that story from the old man. Old men are always full of stories like that. About the Nanasa's feathered crown, which seems to be possibly of interest to you, and also the kind of non-professional description of what they could tell you about the Star Dwellers. If you wanted to get more information about that, like if you're really interested in that, then that's something that you'd want to go to like the monastery for. Not here, but like the actual monastery, the Zone Monastery, which is basically in the. Well, let me tell you how far away it is. Look at the map, just so you can know. It's probably in the opposite direction of where you're going, but it might be something that interests you later. It is. Yeah, it's. You'd have to go south across the mountains, or around them is probably the better way to go, through the hills. But it'd be probably about 2 days at least journey with a guide, if you want information about that, because that's much more involved than like your average person would know. It's esoteric, as they say, right? So in any case, I've been putting all that stuff in the wrong chat. I keep meaning to put it in Roll20. That way it stays forever. Oh well. In any case, what do you guys want to do? So you've got that information. You go back to the headman, Gundun.
Guantan.
Thank you. This is in charge of pronouncing everything correctly for me. Thank you, Crystal. You go back, or for the first time, for those of you who haven't been there, and you go in that back way, and sure enough, they've got an area kind of blocked off for you by those like wooden, very lightweight wooden kind of partition walls, and they've got some sleeping mats on the ground. There's, as soon as you come in, of course they bring you jugs of wine, and if you want, which you probably do, I'm imagining food, they bring you platters with meat that's been roasted, on like a stick, and some dates and various fruits and stuff. So yeah, you get put.
Brighill looks towards Lachlan and goes, "Oh, you seem a little down and out. Did one of those monks give you a spanking with their cane?"
No, I think that was mutual respect. I mean, why am I bruised? Is that what it is? It's just
Well,
a little rough play.
It's just your spirits. Your spirits don't seem to be where they usually are. I thought maybe one of them taught you a lesson or two. But that's good that y'all traded.
Yes. Well, you would appreciate them because they're a lot like your mother. I mean, they always need something first before they'll do something for you. So we had to fight them, and I figured I'll fight them for information.
Well, it looks like they bruised your ego a little bit, but anyway, that's good.
No, that's okay. What did you find out? I mean, we didn't find out much.
Well, Nesta and I had a few of this wine or whatever they call it, and listening, some old man told us a very interesting story about on this plateau that we're going to. There's a grand temple that there was some child that was brought up, a child of these serpent men there, and evidently this child was pretty much given, I guess you could say, almost like godhood himself, but the child and them, during the time of chaos, the temple was ruined, and there's something about a feathered crown that if we find this feathered crown and return it to the child, we may be blessed with other type of riches, if you know what I mean. So it's something we need to look for while we're there.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Why would the child have riches?
Well, evidently the people brought riches, as if you're familiar with some religions, they give riches thinking they're going to be blessed in ways.
Maybe we can meet the child before we get this crown to her.
Well, they say the child is slumbering, though, until the crown is returned.
That sounds like sorcery.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a child. I mean,
Do
what
we want
child
to
sleeps that long?
do we want to wake this child?
Well, it was a child spawned of the great serpent.
Oh,
Power over life and death,
You
so
mean the
the great
celestial
serpent. You mean Bodzu?
I do not know that name.
Well, Bodzu is the serpent that circles Hyperborea and keeps it from tilting over.
Ah,
That's what the monks said. They said in the beginning, and she like jumps up and tries to like replicate the dance and everything. Only she does it really poorly because she only saw it one time.
Oh, brother. On the way here, we all had our gods, but suddenly we're in a new land and you've become a convert and you've become a convert and everybody gets a new god.
What do you mean? I'm still loyal to Yunde. But I think the serpent keeping Hyperborea balanced is an interesting concept. Serpent of law against the chaos of the void. There is neutrality found there. This is something that we druids strive for: balance in all things. This is what Yunde teaches.
well, at the very least, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you're right, but don't expect me to turn my back to Euler.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
Nobody's turning their back to anybody. I mean, come on. It's just like adding a friend.
And
I mean, I got
There's-
Crom, and now I got Reller. I got
Well,
two
you've got-
friends.
You've
There's
got
no-
me too, of course, Lackland, and don't forget me. We've been friends since childhood.
That's true. That's true, Pig.
Yeah, if you
there's
put it that
nothing
way.
wrong with gaining knowledge of other beliefs and other ideas.
Right. They're like
Adding
one
those to
big
your own.
happy family up there anyway. So,
So it's like making a new friend, right?
exactly.
All right, if you put it that way, I think I could see it your way.
And you understand that like Euler isn't the only god. I mean, like there are many gods, and
Yeah.
there's a bit of truth in everything.
Yeah, but Euler is the one that I grew up with. He's the god of the warriors, the berserkers. But, well, that's another story.
And Yunde is the goddess of nature. Everyone has their place.
And Reller's the god of do whatever you want.
I'm not sure that's what Rel teaches.
It's not.
Oh, it's not? Well, I got a lot to learn.
Isn't Rel's teaching something to the effect of, he helps those who help themselves?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
Panesta, you worship him, right?
He's helped me out in the past, yes.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about him.
Well, he is the god of thievery and swindling, but also the god of luck and gems and gold. And he has many faces and wears winged sandals.
See? Why wouldn't I want to be a friend with him?
I'm just having a very hard time imagining what he looks like with many faces and winged sandals.
Well, most of the time they say he presents as a handsome man. So, I guess none would hear. Oh, well, anyway.
So
What?
it's
Not
one
sure who
face at a
the
time.
reference-
Well, I was going to say kind of like me, but I guess not.
No, it's
Apparently, no
it's-
one thinks that way.
Maybe you
Well-
keep wearing that around your neck, Lackland. It will improve your physical too.
Well, I mean, the word handsome is subjective, right? So,
Well, where I'm from, people think I'm very handsome. But
Well, Balky, one thing
So-
that would help you is Sorka. I saw her buying herbs and flowers and things earlier. I think you should let her put some herbs and flowers, and that thing you wear around your head, it's starting to smell after that 6-month trip on the ocean.
Yeah, it's all that sweat and this place being so hot. I just can't help it. I need to soak myself in some ocean brine.
I certainly have flowers here that give off a very perfumey smell.
Well, they have some good accommodations here, so maybe I'll take some of those flowers and dip myself in one of those little tubs.
Oh, yes, a mat on the floor. It's wonderful accommodations, isn't it?
I've had worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I love sleeping. I love sleeping in nature. I've had, you know, so I mean, sleeping on the forest floor or just on a blanket under the stars.
Well, at least we're not behind the locked cells of the city jail that I was afraid Lackland was leading us to.
Yeah, I
Oh,
feel the same way.
why? Because I was trying to swindle a swindler?
No, when those guards came up, I thought we had to put up a little bit of a fight.
Wait, what did I miss?
Yeah, what did I do that made you think I was gonna fight these guards?
I don't know, when those, 5, 6 guards walked up to you outside that temple, I didn't know what was happening inside. So I just thought maybe they were
Right.
there to take us all away.
I just told him the little one assaulted me. I mean, you saw her. She cut me with a knife.
Yeah, that charlatan.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. She moved pretty fast. I don't believe any of us really saw it.
Well,
know
I
what?
didn't see it
Okay,
because I was
pigtails.
outside.
Lackland,
Thank you.
She was quick. She was fast, and Rail did it before you knew it.
You know, the next time I'm on trial, I'm going to make sure that you're not around, Brigeld.
Well, I will find you the greatest counsel to help you.
Oh, I'm sure you will. And I
Lachlan,
appreciate that. I really do.
Lachlan, are you sure Brighild is your childhood friend?
Yes, I told you. Listen, she's honest. She's straight up most of the time. I mean, you have to understand her sense of humor. I'm still trying to figure it out, but you got to kind of understand her sense of humor.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm super tired. I'm turning in for the night.
Before we turn in for the night, Daniel,
Mhm.
I would like to gather up some berries and cast Goodberry.
Okay. Where are you going to get the berries from?
I mean, like they're bringing us lots of food and stuff, right? I mean,
Mate,
Oh, you
you wanna use
gotta,
a
you gotta use grapes.
they're berries. 2d4. Do I roll them, or you want to, or
Okay, so you're gonna use yeah, sure, they'll bring you berries. You can roll it.
okay? 4. I get 4 good berries, and they will last for
Nice.
6 days.
Nice.
They're like, so it's like I bless the pile of berries according to the spell, basically, and then like they all basically look the same. But I clearly cast some kind of magic on them. Only I can tell which ones are actually good berries.
Nice.
And then if they'll bring us like a bucket or something, I'll also create water and create up to like 3 gallons worth of water so that we can fill all of our canteens and stuff if we're going to be traveling tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
I'll just
then
go
I
with the
will
regular
prepare
water.
my,
Thank you.
You use sorcery and
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
think
quite
I'll
sure
use-
about berries.
Yeah.
That's
I'll dip out of the water trough over here. I'm sure a little horse saliva isn't going to kill me like the sorcery that you're cranking out.
Why
there's-
would you think I would use evil sorcery? Are you accusing me of being some kind of necromancer?
No, I would never do that.
Valky
Just-
looks at the pristine, clear water that Sorka has created, and he looks at like this brownish, water that they brought in, and he looks at it again. He looks at both of them, and he shrugs and takes the clear water.
Yeah, the water they bring in isn't brown, but that's funny.
Nice. Yeah.
They bring you good stuff. They're not because you're not in some like crappy village. You're in the main
We're not
area.
in a city jail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. You're basically in the palace. You're getting the finest water you can get, but you can
we're
use
at
your
the
magic water if you want.
Hilton Suites.
I mean, you
if the water
definitely.
quality's if the water quality is exactly the same, then he's going to look at it and say, "What's the difference? Why did you create water when we have, perfectly clean water over here?" And he takes the
Yeah.
clean water that they brought in.
Well, what am
Yeah,
I?
you definitely notice that you've drawn some attention that you're kept making magic here. Nobody says anything to you, but they're definitely looking at you.
That's fine. Let them look.
All right. Night goes by. Morning comes, and some of the men, one of the men that brought you back there, they kind of address you in the morning, and they say, "Okay, the headman has prepared a boat, and we're leaving in an hour. This is very good weather. It is. I probably check the weather before I say it's good weather. Oh yeah, it's calm." And only 95 degrees, so that's pretty good. If there's anything else you want to do here in town before you leave, now would be your opportunity to do it.
Bricchio is going
Otherwise-
to go to one of those merchants and just buy a bag of like a big bag of those dates, for them to have for a snack.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you see people out there again. Good.
I get plenty of dry rations and another extra water skin because it's going to be very thirsty and hot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, so you guys get some food, some rations and stuff.
Lachlan's
What
going to
else
go
you-
out to the monastery again
Okay.
and just watch them.
All right.
Be sure to be back soon. We're leaving in
It's-
about an hour.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you watch them.
I watched them.
You see that they're joined by a friend of yours who you haven't seen in a bit. Well, hasn't seen in a day. She kind of disappeared when you got off the boat. A very I think she's not that tall, but a very muscular woman who's clearly not from this area. But you kind of scoop her, pick her up and let her know what's going on, so she comes with you. But she's pretty quiet today.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
oh yes.
Yeah, that's Russia's character who has to somehow get on this boat with you. So, and she is a monk, so that's like a perfect place for her to be.
That's true.
Yeah, but she's not
Yes.
from there. So, yeah. You
Well,
watch
if she's there, I'm going to join in with them the best that I can. I mean, I'm going to look like the stupid person at the end of chorus line, but I'll
Yeah.
do whatever exercises that they're doing. And
Yeah, they don't prevent you from doing that or seem at all put out by it. They exercise with them. Yeah, they do their standard kind of calisthenic type exercises and mostly open hand, no weapon kind of moves. But you watch and learn, I guess. And you can you guys get on the boat. I
yes.
guess. Life is good. They tell you that so where you're going is about 2 days to the north by boat. But the first day you're going to go up and stop just north of the Coral Bay. There's an island up there that people often stop at when they're going to go further north for fishing and stuff. So it'll take you a day to get up there. They stay close to that other small island chain. So if you're on the map, it's basically like you're starting down here. They're going to stay along the shore as much as possible because you're only in small boats. And then they'll kind of float, stay close to these islands here so that they don't not too much open sea. And you'll end up here at this island by the end of the first day, ideally. It does start raining pretty hard, but maybe that's a bit of a relief because it's kind of hot. And you make it through that first day, no problem, and you come up onto this island. By the way, because it is a year later, so the days are not quite as long anymore. Sunrise this week is at 4:55 a.m. and sunset is at 7:10. So, it's getting darker earlier. You guys are probably remembering the time not too long ago when there was no sunset at all. But you end up on this first island. You're with, by the way, you're with four men who are basically operating the boat. You see that they have what do you call it? Like kind of these hooked swords that you saw on the other guy in the street. But they're not dressed in armor or anything, and they're not, they don't seem to be like warriors per se. And in the boat itself, you have some harpoons. But they pull up onto the shore. They drag the boat up there with you, and you guys set up camp for the night. And are you guys going to do watches or anything? Or are you going to... What's your plan on the island?
Oh, I would definitely suggest we do watches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think Lachlan would agree with you.
Balky is going to do a perimeter check. He's going to look for tracks. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look around, you know, being a barbarian and all that, you see... Oh, no, you're not. No, you're a berserker.
yeah, he's a berserker.
You
Does he
see...
have?
I don't think you have that ability, but it's fine. I mean, you know, you're a person. You can walk around and look around. You can see that this area definitely has wildlife, and they would even tell you that. You know, that there are animals here. Typically, they say if you keep a fire going, it hasn't really been a problem. You know, unless you get very unlucky. And if so, they say, if so, we'll just get in the boat really quick. You know, that's their plan, because these guys they're clearly not fighters. So you kind of drag the boat up onto the shore, but they're like sleeping near it, you know, if that makes sense. Yeah. So what's our guard order here? Who wants to go first? Or should I just
Lachlan will
in
go
the-
first.
Okay. Roll d6.
D6. That's a 3.
Hey, all right. Who's next? Nothing happens of any interest on your shift.
I'll go second.
All right, Panesta.
D6.
I'll go third.
I rolled a 4.
All right. Yeah, Panesta, you know, you're admiring the rain as it pours down on you because there's no good stars at it, but nothing seems to bother you. You know, having trouble keeping the fire going because it's raining so hard, but otherwise uneventful. Go ahead there, Balky.
I got 4.
Okay. Yep, you also sitting there, and maybe your bearer pelt's getting washed out a little bit because it's been raining all night, but it's pretty uneventful. That leaves us with Brickhild and Sorka. Who wants to go next?
Next. D6, right? D6. 2.
Perfect. All right, Sorka.
Nice.
You're on guard. Let's see, when you're on guard, you just said chance of you actually being surprised as well. But I'm just going to see how close this thing got. Oh yeah, okay. You would have been surprised, but since you're on guard duty, I'm not going to make you surprised. I'm just going to say it's going to be close. Okay, because of the pouring rain, you don't hear this thing until it's pretty close to you. More like you hear like a crushing sound, and you kind of like turn, and you can see. Not so much that you can see this creature, but that it's so large that you can see how it's blocking the rain from hitting a certain amount of space in front of it. It is about, well, it's not that tall. It's only 8 feet tall. So it's pretty tall, though. It's pretty big, though. And it's standing up on its legs and has a long tail, and it is clearly some kind of a lizard, but a very big lizard that you've never seen before. Yeah.
Using my natural identification, can I tell if this is a natural lizard?
Do you want to take the time to do that?
Yes.
I mean, the way you're going to know if something's natural is by studying it for a bit. I mean, you're not going to just instantly know if something's natural. Not in this case, because it's pretty obviously a lizard.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. So you stare at this thing, and it's gonna try to eat you. So it steps forward. It's naturally hungry.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, You're like, I wonder if this is rah! It comes at you. All right.
Okay.
This is it. All right. Well, actually, I'll just roll first. All right. So it's going to go at you with 2 claws and then a bite. Ooh. Okay. Let me just look. Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh, that hits armor class 1.
Okay.
That hits armor class 2.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, and then it rolled a natural 1. Haha! Luckily on the bite. That would have been terrible.
Are we still doing the major fail thing? The crit 1
Yeah.
chart?
But first, but
Okay.
it still hit you twice first.
Okay.
So we just do that
Yeah.
damage first. All right. Okay, so it swipes you twice. Did you take a total of 6 points of damage? But yeah,
Okay.
go ahead and roll. I think it's a d12. Let me just check. I'm gonna bring the chart up. Yeah, go ahead and roll a d12 to see what happens to this thing as it bites down, tries to bite down on you.
A D12. 11.
11. Okay, okay, it can't do that because it doesn't have an ally. So you take the one below it, I believe. All right, so it actually trips. It like leans forward to bite into you, and it trips. So it's prone. So it's actually the next round. It's going to be -4 on its AC. Okay, yeah. This thing just falls, and it's loud because it's big. It goes next to the ground. And probably at that point, people wake up because you hear this thing just like, rah! And it's smashed. And you kind of open your eyes, and you can see this giant lizard that seems to be struggling to get on its feet. And Sorka standing there with probably knocked back or something. I mean, I don't think you were that injured, so maybe you just like knocked back a bit from it. So, I'm just going to go around and ask everybody what they're going to do, and then we'll roll initiative. Podesta, what you going to do?
Giant lizard, huh?
Giant
Spell.
lizard. 8 feet tall when standing, 24 feet long. Mouth full of
Okay.
huge teeth. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Spell.
Oh, that's weird. You went robot-y. Was she robot-y for just me, or was it?
No, it was for body for me too.
Yeah, try one more time, Nikki.
Both of y'all are robots for me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, everybody's
Freaking.
We got a major
Go-
robot going on.
Solar flares.
weird.
You know what? Write it in the chat and Zoom what you want to do, and hopefully it'll fix itself in a couple seconds.
The only one I can hear clear is Mike. Everybody else is robot.
Really?
The only one I can hear clear is Daniel.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah, I can hear you clear too, Crystal. I guess we're on individual connections here.
That's interesting.
Okay. So, yeah. If everybody can see what Crystal did, I don't know.
Yes. Type.
What about Brickhild?
Yeah, I'm typing it in case you can't hear me.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Okay. Oh, nice.
I'm gonna grab a piece. I'm gonna grab a piece of wood from the fire, our campfire.
Okay. How about Balky? Does everybody, right?
Gonna go and grab a hand axe and his broadsword, and prepare the throw and attack maneuver.
Okay. Cool. All right, so Crystal, it's on you. So go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
The creature got a 4.
D6, right?
Yep, just straight D6 this time. Nothing, no modifiers.
2.
All right, it's going to go first. And unfortunately, you're currently the thing just right in front of it still, so it's coming at you again. It needs to get up, which I'll say it'll lose one of its attacks because it has to stand up. So it'll do 1 claw. Oh, not a D6. But D6 will definitely miss.
Mhm.
Okay, that's going to hit you because it hit you before with that number. And the bite. Ooh, okay. Unfortunately, you're going to hit with the claw and the bite.
Okay.
Claw. 1 point.
Okay.
Bite. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. That's not good. Okay, bite is 14 points.
Ow.
However, it
So-
says on a successful bite, Allosaurus shakes. It's an Allosaurus. Shakes victim for 2d6 additional hit points. I'm gonna give you a save because that doesn't make sense. It would do 3d6 and then 2d6. So I'll give you a avoidance save to avoid being like actually held by it.
Okay.
Yeah. So make an avoidance save.
Failed.
Okay, so it's gotcha. It's gonna do an additional 2d6. So you see this thing bite down into Sorka and pick. Oh, it does 10 more points of damage.
All right, I'm at -5.
Oh crap! Okay, so Sorka's you see her go unconscious as she's being torn off the ground by this giant lizard, basically.
Why didn't I fucking do my spell the first time?
But she did yell, yeah. Okay, so melee will go first, which I think is what Yong's doing.
I
Because you're
said
doing
he's preparing it, so I'm holding my action.
What do you mean you're holding your action?
So he has to draw have the throwing weapon ready in his hand in order to do the throwing and attack in the next round.
Okay, so you're not going to make a melee attack?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So then missile will be next, which is somebody's throwing a harpoon. That was Mike's
Lachlan.
character. Lachlan, yeah, go ahead and make your throw.
That is armor class 3.
That's probably going to hit, I would imagine. Let me just check this thing, sorry. Yeah, that hits, yep.
What is that? D6?
Let's say
D6?
D8. We'll say
A
D8.
D8?
You can add strength to it because it's a thrown weapon.
Wow, that's 11.
Oh wow, okay, that's good damage. In Brigil's, you're gonna brandish a torch at this thing.
Yeah, but what she was going to do with the piece of wood, the
Yeah.
fire, she can't do now since it's got Sorka in its jaws. So I guess she's going to have to go in phase 2, and she's gonna throw the piece of wood down and grab her shield and her spear now.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, you probably saw that happen, so you could still attack in phase 2. It already went, so it doesn't matter the phase at this point. So you can do your attack if you want, melee attack.
Yeah, she'll try to spear into the side of it, man. Nope, she's gonna miss. Well, armor class 8. I know that's not gonna hit it.
Yeah,
though.
no, its AC is 4. Yes, that's not gonna hit. Okay, I think that's. Oh, and then Vanessa's doing a spell. Go on,
Yep.
pick it up, Vanessa.
I'm gonna cast Paralyze at it.
Oh, that feels new.
Yes,
Does it get a save?
it does. I have it right here. It has sorcery save modified by willpower.
Okay. It doesn't have any willpower modifiers, so just a straight up sorcery save. It rolled a 4, which I can't believe that would be successful. No, its save is 11. Okay, so yeah, it's paralyzed, I guess.
Yep, the illusion of immobilization.
Oh, okay. It
And
works on animals and stuff.
it doesn't say there. It doesn't work on them. I don't know. It just
Okay.
says
Well, yeah, okay.
minds of those victims.
Perfect.
And it can affect twice as many HD as caster level and last 1 turn per caster level, so 6.
Oh. How many HD can it affect?
Twice as many as my caster level, so 12.
Okay, it's paralyzed.
That's what it says, right? Yeah, twice as many HD as she has
No,
caster
perfect.
levels. Yep. Yep,
Oh,
yep.
that's very good then, because that's pretty much exactly what it has. Get twice as many HD's cast level, targeting a single individual or 24. Okay. Okay, so it's just paralyzed, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, so it stops. I mean, it was shaking you, so it probably drops Sorka at that point because
Right.
Sorka drops to the ground, and the thing's just like, yeah. What's everybody doing? 'Cause now I guess that's basically.
Rikild is, since she's close, she's gonna try to grab Sorka and pull her back to safety.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. You can wrap a stop. You can bandage your wounds or whatever to stop her from bleeding out. It doesn't say that it will break it if you attack the thing, so I'm going to say if you want, you could probably just coup de grace this thing. I don't see why not. Yeah. So if you want to kill it, or you can get in the boat and get out of here. So I don't know what you guys would want to do. It's held for an hour. What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I was holding the attack for the throw and attack. So for the first phase, I'm going to throw my axe and then, engage with the regular melee weapon.
Yeah. That's fine. The thing is, it doesn't matter right now, but just so you know, you can't. What you can do is that's actually designed for if you're like wandering somewhere with it already in your hand. You can't just like pick up an axe in the middle of combat and do that. I mean, that's not. I mean, I'll let you do it, but that's not really what it's designed for. But anyways, you do that. You throw your axe into it, and it sticks into it. I'm sure because it's not moving anywhere, and it's just standing there.
I guess we just go there and hack at it.
Yeah, I mean, you can just cut its throat or whatever. It is a very large lizard, and it drops to the ground. I mean, it's frozen for an hour, so searches down. So probably fleeing at that point is not a good idea. Running away. So you kill the thing. You have a ton of meat now. As the rain is pouring down. The rain is pouring down as this dinosaur is laying there dead, and you're kind of bandaging your friend in the 95-degree heat, even though it's nighttime.
Yes.
And the sailors who went with you are shaking in their boots with their spears in their hands. They didn't even get to do anything yet. But I guess they're probably pretty confident that you guys are good warriors because you took that thing out really quickly. And that is probably the place we'll leave it. That seems like a good place to leave it.